All right, we are on another day of science, and today, this week we've talked about, all week we've talked about animal adaptations, things that animals have within their bodies to survive, to get food, and to kind of adapt to their surroundings and protect themselves. So today, we're going to be identifying two behavior adaptations of animals. So, way back when on Monday, we talked about how animals have structural adaptations and behavioral adaptations. So, all week we've learned about, the last 2 days, we've learned about structural adaptations, what the animals have on the outside of their bodies, like physical features, like their eyes and their claws and their fur and camouflage and things like that. Today, we're going to learn about some of the behavior that they have. So, there's four behavioral adaptations: hibernation, migration, warning calls, hunting, and packs. Okay, we're going to talk about hibernation and migration today. So, a behavioral adaptation is like a behavior, an action that animals carry to increase their chances of survival and reproduction. So, the behavior may be learned and passed from one generation to another, okay? Or it might be passed down genetically, which means they were born with that behavior. So, hibernation and migration today. Hibernation is when an animals hide out. Okay. It's a time of inactivity. It means a time where they're not active. Okay. They're not doing anything. So, a lot of warm blooded animals hibernate, usually during the winter when it's cold, when food is short. So, they hibernate by falling into a sleep like state. So, they sleep a lot during hibernation. They regulate their body to consume less energy, and they lower their body temperature by slowing their breathing and slowing all of their other bodily functions. So, some fun facts: hibernating and dormant mammals include bears, squirrels, groundhogs, raccoons, skunks, opossums, dormice, and bats. Frogs, toads, turtles, lizards, snakes, snails, fish, shrimp, and even some insects hibernate during the winter. To prepare for hibernation, many animals eat to gain weight in the summer and fall. The extra fat keeps them alive during the winter. So they eat a lot during the other seasons to prepare for hibernation because they're not going to be eating. During the fall, hibernating animals prepare nests for their winter sleep. Some store extra food in their nests. So during that preparation time in the fall, they start to get their nests ready for hibernation. Sometimes they grab extra food just in case. Some hibernating animals wake for short periods during hibernation to eat and relieve themselves. Some other animals sleep through the entire winter. So sometimes some animals wake up and they kind of eat a little bit, but they still don't really move a lot. Um, Other animals just sleep the entire time. During hibernation, their heart rate can be less than 10 beats per minute. That's interesting. So, you know, they're like literally in hibernation. Their heart is barely beating. It's interesting. Some female bears have babies during hibernation. So that's interesting. That would be a good time to have a baby during hibernation. Okay, you could spend a lot of time with it. There's a video here I'll post for you, and then I'll put some questions online for you to answer. Migration. This is the next behavioral adaptation that animals have. Animals depend on their environment for food and shelter, so they must find a safe place to live that will supply them with what they need. When an animal moves to a different location for part of the year, we call this journey a migration. There's different reasons for animals to migrate, and this happens regularly every year. Lots of animals migrate. So, migrate just means like moving, it means animals go on a journey somewhere. Some animals that migrate: birds, fish, reptiles. They move from place to place in search of food. They search for better living conditions or a better place for reproduction or making babies, pretty much. Some migrations are long while there are short migrations as well. So some animals like ants and bugs, they might take a few minutes or a day to migrate, but some other animals like birds, it might take them months to find another place to live. Some interesting migration facts are in the next slide. And birds are ones who gained popularity in the field of migration. So, a good example of this would be when you see a big group of birds in the sky flying in one direction. Sometimes you see that in the summer, sometimes you see that a lot of times in the fall and the winter time. Birds are all migrating to a place where it's warmer in the winter. In the winter, you don't see that many birds, right? In the winter, all the birds fly down south where it's warmer. So next time you see a big group of birds, maybe they're migrating, maybe they're moving to a different place. There's a video here about migration. Now answer you'll answer some questions about migrating. Okay, so that's your assignment for today. Okay, looking at videos of hibernation, looking at videos of migrating, listening to me talk a little bit about it, and then you'll answer some questions online.